Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I have the video I've been wanting to do for a long time and have had all sorts of issues getting out to you guys. That is the escape from Klescher Prison. So, we will walk through a little bit, maybe quickly, on how to get out of this place if you want to escape. When I escape, my original mission was to get a rover and drive it off somewhere. You couldn't escape the planet in the rover, but you could drive most everywhere you want to go. That mission never really panned out, as I couldn't find the rover bays once I got out before my oxygen levels decreased. I did have Captain Jakes on standby to come pick me up, which is what I highly recommend for any of you guys, is to make sure you have a buddy to pick you up. Otherwise, getting off planet becomes extremely problematic. So, make sure you do that. So what you got to look for is this fan with the broken blades. And you have to jump across to get to the fan with the broken blades, so you can get it in this little chamber here. And you want to follow the blue flowers, if you want to call them flowers. You'll have a couple of lifts that you've got to do here. You can see Jake's getting prepared to come get me on the right side, and you can see me dropping down this little shaft here on the left. Now, I've seen some speed runs where they kind of bypass some of this stuff, and I honestly, I tried to recreate that, and I never saw it. So I just kind of went my own way. I did have to look at a couple of videos. I did not want to do that at first because I kind of wanted to discover it on my own, but I got to a couple of places in here where it was very difficult for me to figure out where I needed to go next. And rather than spend more hours trying to figure that out, I just decided, yeah, I know, I gave in. I decided to go and watch a couple of really good videos. Salty Mike probably has one of the best walkthroughs of this that you will find. So I appreciate him putting that video up. It really helped me through two spots. I didn't watch all of his video yet. I wanted to wait until I got this one out, and I will go do him the favor of watching that whole video, because I felt like just the parts that I saw were fantastic. So I hope you guys get some sort of sense of this walkthrough and how to do it from me as well. It won't probably be on par with Salty Mike's, as he gives a very big breakdown on the walkthrough, and I'm more talkative, I guess you could say. So you have to jump back and forth on these switchbacks. Here, that's the only way to progress. As you can see, I've got to now jump up. The whole idea is to go up, 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 right? You want to get to the surface. But sometimes in this maze, it's counterproductive. Don't go left there, go right. Left will take you back to where you were via a cliff. So once you go right here, you got a little ways you walk before you go back up again. Again, some of this maze is counterproductive, or at least it feels counterproductive. You have to go down before you go up, and yeah, so just keep an eye out for that. Don't second guess too much. If you see a ledge that you think you need to climb or jump to, half the time it's right. I say half the time it's because there are some false ways to go in this little maze as well. As you see, we'll pull ourselves up. Really, right here, there's only one place to go, so that's why I'm not really giving you too much on the walkthrough. Now here, you want to stay next to this edge and turn around. There's a little entrance across this jump, and you got to jump over and through here. As you can see, I came from the other side, making sure there's a switchback over here that you have to go to. Just because that tunnel, that's one of those false things. There was a tunnel over there, but it doesn't lead anywhere that you need to go. You need to look for that blue light and the blue flower that was on the opposite ledge that you jumped to. Now this is the trickier part, where you have to jump from ledge to ledge to ledge, and they're not all obvious all the time. As you can see, there's not a lot of light, so you really have to look for the ledges you want to jump to. See, I'm looking around. I got to go to this ledge right here. Just to the right. Always go right, right? So that doesn't always work, by the way. So you can't get up on this part because it's not climbable here. There's a little ledge just to the right there that you have to go over to, and then you can climb up. And now we'll walk through this tunnel. I wonder how many lives were lost building this escape from the prison. Had to have been a lot. You see bodies everywhere as you go down here, by the way. So this is a part that I kind of got ticked off about early on when I was trying to do this video, because I would overjump, it wouldn't jump. Sometimes my spacebar just wasn't working as planned. I believe I was suffering from some desync, some lag. It was causing all sorts of issues when I did this video. I literally spent like 3 hours probably trying to get this video. And the reason why I don't have any audio, in-game audio for you guys, is because it's filled full of expletives and very descriptive words for the way I was feeling during doing this run. It was funny enough, early on I was also streaming on my Discord to some of the people, you know, including Jake's, that were watching it, and they were laughing the whole time because I guess maybe they haven't heard me cuss like a sailor. But yeah, this mission here was definitely making me cuss like a sailor. It's just, I don't know, some bugs. It seems like you're walking at slow speed, you're trying to stay on the path, and an invisible, I guess, ledge knocks you off and into a pit of doom, and you got to start completely over again. Or your spacebar's not working when you're jumping. People can clearly hear it. You're tapping on it to jump, but it didn't work. That was another false direction there, so you have to come back to the right. Well, you're going to take the left tunnel if you come back, but if you come right out, you just take the right instead of going left, and that would save you some trouble. As you can see, there's more blue flowers there and a blue flare. That was one of the trickier parts as well, figuring out this way to go. As you can see now, I am trying to figure out where to go next. I believe I've got to jump all the way across here. Sorry about that. It's early in the morning, the phone's going off like crazy. I really didn't make that jump. I got lucky and got on a ledge underneath there, and I was able to pull myself up. And this part here was tricky too. I had to I had to go and look at some video to figure out what to do next here. But again, that one video that I went and saw was extremely helpful here. I watched just this little bit and then moved on and tried to figure out the rest for myself. There was only one other spot that I had to check the video on during making this. So admittedly, 2 places I felt like I needed to check the video to save time for you guys. Of course, I may have never figured it out myself, or I may have just by trial and error. And then you got to find this little hole in the wall literally and head through it. And as you can see, there's another jump here. A lot of these jumps over these little chasms and stuff. So your spacebar game needs to be on track. I would also recommend that you slow to a walking pace by using the mouse scroll wheel. You don't want to be running through here. You will easily run off edges because your character will not just stop when you need them to. So I have found myself, this is where the false area was underneath. Now you can find how to get up there. You can't do anything with this body, unfortunately. You can't even pick up the flare. That would have been cool. So now that we're up top, we have to get over here on this ledge that overlooks the false path, I guess you call it. And it looks like it drops down. Again, counterintuitive. You don't think you should be going down. You should be going up the whole time. And as you can see, this is another treacherous jump The whole time you're doing some of these jumps, you're like, there's no way I'm going to make that. There's no way. But with this low gravity, you're able to make all these jumps, which is kind of insane. And again, I'm looking at it, I'm like, how in the world? But I was able to do it. And now we're entering the shaft, I guess the air shaft for the prison colony here. Obviously, this is in disrepair. And again, I'm like, okay, do I go down? What do I do here? I don't know what to do here. So eventually I just decide, I think I'm just going to drop off the edge here. I think it'd be fine. It's only fan blades moving, you know, at high speed here that could cut me in two. Well, maybe I should go. No, I'm not going to go back. Let's take a look. Let's just drop down. Alright, so we drop down. There should be a door over here. Well, yeah, it's a door. It's just being held open by a box. It's forced open. Not allowed to close. And we're going to go down here. At first I thought this was, oh, well, this may be important, but I looked at it a little bit longer. Nothing important about that. It's just talking about which vents are running and which ones aren't, I believe. Can't do anything with that information. This is the rover bay information that you need, which I never found. But go ahead and write those numbers down when you get them. Of course, one of them's empty, so that wouldn't have done me any good. But the other one, I could have gotten a rover out of if I would have found it. You have to duck down there, and then you go into the system here, the air system. Nothing really this way. I was just double checking. We're going to head towards this fan. And they have the path blocked off in front of you, so it's kind of convenient that they did that. Otherwise, it would be less. Well, it wouldn't be. It'd be a little more confusing and more difficult to traverse some of this stuff. But yeah, generally they have only one direction available to you when you're walking through here. And now I'm looking around because I know I'm going to have to jump up somewhere here. As you can see, it says no turning back. But there's a little gap there, and you can reach up and jump up here. And now we are just about to exit the prison system. So, ooh, be careful you're jumping here. You might just end right back down the air shaft. That wouldn't be good. So now we have to go to the stairs. We're not quite out of danger yet. We'd still have to traverse these stairs over here, and the stairs have some missing planks, as you can see right up above here. So we'll have to jump above that. And then once we get to the surface, we have to figure out a way not to die. You can see over on the left, my oxygen levels are pretty good right now. So they end up dropping off very quickly once I get to the surface. But part of that is because the temperature is extremely high, so it's putting me under more stress. You see, Jake's is almost 13 kilometers away from me. He is in a holding pattern. He did not. We were trying to make it to where he didn't have to get a crime stat. So if I could have gotten a rover and drove it to him, that would have been the most ideal situation. But right now, you can see that the heat is rising in my suit, and the oxygen levels are plummeting. So I'm looking around, and I could not remember. I've been to the prison outside before, and I remember where the rover bays were from the aerial view, but putting an aerial view versus when you're on the ground is quite difficult, especially when there's no cardinal directions. So, you know, that part was a little confusing for me, and I was having a very hard time trying to locate these rover bays so I could try to get in a rover and pretty much rescue myself. Up until I could drive it into Jake's vehicle, or his ship. So this is Bay 3, which wasn't even listed on that. There is a keypad, which you'll see in a minute, because I'll go back to Bay 3. And I'm just kind of wandering around here. Where is this rover bay? I know it's off in the distance over there. I thought it would be closer. As you can see, my health is still falling as I explore the surface here. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit with a quick cut here. I was just wandering around this, on top trying to figure out where this bay was. Now I'm going to travel over to the other air shaft, and I noticed that things are getting quite dire for me. So I tell Jakes, "Hey man, I need a ride, and I need it like now. Things are getting a little dire over here." First I told him to hold off, thinking I might be able to get to the rover bay, but then I was like, whoa, my oxygen levels are falling so quick. I really need a pickup. It shows in my suit that I have a little while to survive, but I wasn't trusting that, because once you run out of O2, man, you're in trouble, So I didn't want to suffocate on Ariel, or wherever we're at, Aberdeen. Yeah, I didn't want to die on Aberdeen for suffocation. So I tried to call him in, and he's moving in as fast as he can, because we know how dire the situation is. I'm still trying to move towards a place that he might be able to actually see me, because when you're in prison, nobody can see your marker. I can see his. We're in the same party, but he can't see my marker, so he can only go by visual stuff. So I'm telling him, once you're flying in, you want to go to the air shaft on the left here, because that's where I've run over to. I'm on a rock. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not going to work. He's not going to see me on this rock. So I'm going to have to jump down and go to the ramp, at least, of this air shaft. And really, I'm sitting here because I don't want my oxygen levels to plummet anymore. And I figure, oh, if I'm running or walking or jumping, my oxygen levels are just going to go quicker. And as you can notice, there's a lot of stuttering on my end over here on the left. It's because I'm losing frame rates crazy-like as Jakes flies in. I don't know why. That doesn't usually happen, but the frame drops were pretty intense. I was like, oh, I'm going to die here because my frame rates are sucky. So he's getting attacked by the turrets here at Klescher, and this is going to be interesting. Okay, I feel like I'm in. I'm saying, take off, and I fall through the floor. And I'm like, no, come back, come back. And Jason's like, what? He didn't realize I'd fallen through the ship floor. So now he's turning around to come back and get me. It's kind of nutty. My oxygen levels are depleted completely. Now my health levels are starting to go down. He's flying as quickly as he can to get back. He's going to put her down a little rough. He's gone to my flight school. What can I say? There's no landing like a rough landing. And now I'm sprinting over to try to get in the bay and get back in his ship before I die. It's really a fight to the end here. There's only seconds left. And I don't want him to take off until the bay is secure, until I'm secure in the ship. I am, so I say, gun it, let's go, let's get out of here. And there he goes. Again, I'm having some frame rate issues here. But guys, this is how you escape Klescher Prison. The next step would be to hack down your crime stat, which is going to be difficult to do with all the bounty hunters, and you'll have to have a reauthorizer or a tiger's claw or something, some hacking chip that you can utilize in that process. Jake's had one, but we ran into some trouble on the way. I cut that part from the video because this is already long enough for you guys. So, guys, let me know what you think about the escape from Klescher Prison. Leave a comment. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon to let you know when I do more of these. I appreciate all you guys who've been watching the videos. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the people who have been clicking on the ads or watching the ads all the way through. That really helps with the sponsorship of this video. If you're interested in sponsoring me and this channel, you can go to my Patreon. That information's down below. Or you can get in for as little as $2 on YouTube to sponsor. Any and everything is appreciated. I think it's just awesome. I can't believe that this might be a job for some people. I want to make this my job, so I appreciate any and all help you guys can give me towards living that dream. I do want to start doing some more Twitch streams. System's not great, but I think I'm gonna just try to revitalize my old system so that I can do a 2-system format. As you can see here, I actually crash. The game drops so many frames, it crashes on me and it gets frozen in this screen. So once again, guys, thank you so much. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you out in the verse.